Berita segenap dimensi.
Thank you so much for still watching Sudut Pandang, and I might be talking to the next Gates or Zuckerberg here, and you never know what a few years can do to a Web 2.0 initiative. And I still remember when we were talking about YouTube. In fact, me and my group of friends would argue that the YouTube idea was discussed first in Malaysia. Maybe not in the YouTube sense, but something about video and sharing and streaming on the internet, for example. But never mind that. Let's go to the next wave, because there's always going to be an S-curve going up.
There's always something new, that's correct. Yeah.
So many people are saying it's Web 2.0 and it's going to be content-based, interactivity must be there, and you're banking on 60% statistics that says content is focused on sharing of information. You know, be it a joke or anything, a video, a file.
Yeah.
And how much of that 60% are you targeting with this service that you have just launched 2 months ago?
A month ago.
Yeah,
a month ago. The service is still pretty new, and to a certain degree, we're still trying to figure out, who exactly is our exact user base, so to speak. But in general, I would say we're targeting the influencers, the people who like to share links, the people who basically have a need to be able to impact or influence the people around them. So you're talking about brands, companies, businesses, and so on and so forth. As far as that 60% is concerned, as far as the internet is concerned, it's always about scale.
Yes.
Getting as many users as possible. And so our goal to this point is I would say I have to be very ambitious because when it comes to the internet, it's not a Malaysian-only market or an American-only market.
There's no geography there.
There is no geography on the internet. It's pretty much global, basically. And so if I can be so bold, I would say I want to aim for the whole world, if you will. And I'm sure that's pretty much what Zuckerberg would say, or Larry and Sergey Brin would say as well. Yeah.
So, show me the money part. How do you? I'm sure you have people around behind that we don't see, but they are calculating everything. This is our target timelines or whatever. But the money, if you can share that, because a lot of people are very skeptical, because on the internet, e-commerce and all, you don't see the money physically. It's not like a transaction where you have a flea market and people can hold the money. So maybe that money part, how do you look at it?
Right. As far as money is concerned, there's always traditional advertising. And certainly Google has been the forerunner as far as advertising is concerned on the internet. And so when you're sharing a link to somebody, we could potentially put advertising off, although we have not yet. I think our focus is really going to be more on what we would call the freemium model, meaning free content, or free functionality and premium functionality. Because I do believe that even in the Web 2.0 world, you cannot be free forever. At some point in time, you do have to be able to generate positive revenue based on an actual product. That is inherently where we are moving to as well. And so a lot of functionality that you're seeing right now is free, but that's only because we're trying to push the market out, get it to as many users as possible. And then what you'll see is within the next 6 to 9 months, basically, is we're going to be introducing new features and functionality, and that's going to be what we call the premium version, or the pro version, if you will, where it's features and functionality that a business person would find extremely useful, and so that's something that they would be willing to pay for it. I think the key thing with the internet, as opposed to the traditional business world, if you will, is on the internet you have to prove your value proposition first before somebody pays for it. And it's a little bit different where, if you want to buy a car, for example, you go and see the car, you try it out, and if you like it, you buy it. But it's almost on the internet, you have to try and drive the car for 6 months before you pay for it. So it's a little bit of a different paradigm.
And on the internet, you don't have to migrate from 800cc car to 1.2 or 1.3, then 1.5, 2.0, 2.5. But you can straight away go to the highest there is.
Yes, correct.
So if everything goes well according to plan, picture perfect. What kind of numbers and figures are we looking at? Because you do have to prepare, right? Because you have to manage the success that comes. Because on the internet, there's no such thing that, wait out for 3 months, then come back later.
Yes. I think if you're asking in terms of, what are we expecting from a revenue standpoint, here's the timeline that we're looking at. We're looking to break even basically in the next 12 months. And 12 months is very important, mainly because, especially really on the internet, in internet terms, 12 months is basically what it takes to iterate through a couple of times. You get your product out, you push it out, you get feedback, you better understand what's going on, what the users like, what they dislike, and you'll find that there's especially on the internet product, basically, there's typically this period where you're trying to figure out what the market truly is, and the market is trying to figure out what your product truly is, and there's this dance, if you will, and that's what that 12 months is. The idea is after 12 months of iteration, changing the product, modifying it, making sure it's good, basically, then we're going to reach a point where we're going to be able to monetize and break even from that. In terms of where we plan to head, you know, it's you know, not inconceivable that you could easily generate, you know, tens of millions of dollars a year, assuming you get the right numbers. Our goal, basically, obviously, is if we can get the whole world, then that number astronomically goes up tremendously.
Is that why it's crucial? I know you have a company based in Malaysia, in KL, but you do have a branch in Seattle. Is that crucial to that plan?
It is very crucial. Sharein as a company is a Malaysian company. It is incorporated in Malaysia. We're going to get our MSC status pretty soon. And the majority of developers, engineers that we have are in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. Actually, we have 2 folks over in Kota Kinabalu as well. And so you know, it's more of a virtual environment. And so I have developers in Seattle, I have developers in Kota Kinabalu, and obviously I have developers over here in Kuala Lumpur as well. And the idea really being is when you're on the internet, everything is virtual. It really does not matter where you are. And I, you know, fundamentally, that's the nature and beauty of the internet. Unlike traditional companies, you know, say for example, you open up a factory and you create a product. Well, to a certain degree, that product is distributable to your local geographic environment. And now, if you have a good distribution system, you might even be able to push it out nationwide or maybe regional wide. But when you're on the internet, the geography has there's no meaning to geography. And that's why fundamentally we believe that even though this is a Malaysian company, we do not want to target the Malaysian market.
And it doesn't matter. The name doesn't tell anything.
Correct.
You know? Anybody anywhere can use this. Colin, I have to go for the last commercial break, but once we are back, maybe a bit more about how you know, there's a lot of people out there who are just waiting to see your idea, and if you're a bit slow, they might take the same idea and they will beat you at it. You know, this is internet, anything is possible.
Absolutely.
How do you make sure that you're going to survive all this sea full of sharks, but at the same time, you're also thinking forward? You know, because time is very fast on the Web 2.0. You know, it shortens a decade into 1 year or less. So how do you go forward from here? How do you have the energy to do so? And maybe if I can take a few steps back, it's always getting funds to start. How did you manage that too? And now looking forward for the next breath and, you know, next burst of energy going forward. We'll discuss that after the short break.